I grew up in Virginia. I was the oldest of three and grew up on a farm. So my mom growing up, she had always had a dream to be on Broadway and to sing, even though she had never had an acting or singing lesson. And she moved to New York City at 18 years old with just the dream. And she actually landed the role of Marie in West Side Story on Broadway. And Dad, on the other hand, he was a famous reconstructive surgeon and burn specialist. So he founded the burn unit at the University of Virginia. When we weren't on the farm, we were going to his lab or we were going to the burn unit because he thought that was a far better idea than having slumber parties and play dates.
Dad was always, you need to mow the farm, clean the pool, you need to take care of all the cows.
Hard driving to the point that, if I got a B, it should have been an A. If I got an A, it should have been an A+. So he was really pushing hard because of course he wanted the best for me, but it also, I think, left me with never feeling enough, not good enough, and always having that negative self-talk behind me, like, you know what, you could have done better, or maybe you can't do this because it's not enough, it's not enough.
And the reality was that he knew he had multiple sclerosis, but we had to really, once he told us, I was 14.
Being in a wheelchair and having multiple sclerosis and seeing his deterioration, he had to control every little element to survive.
Even though he was going through everything, he wasn't like crying about his disease. Just never was. He wasn't like, poor me, ever.
He published 3,000 peer-reviewed journal articles. He created steri strips. He did that for 50% of his career. He was immobile from the neck down in his wheelchair.
You can say, it's not fair, why did this happen to me? Take on more of that victim role, or you can take on a role of being someone that wants to come from a place of empowerment.
I remember at one point, I was in this terrible relationship. To the point I was so addicted, and he was so volatile and abusive emotionally and even physically a couple times if the phone, I would sit by the phone and wait for it to ring and shake. It was insane. And then one day, my girlfriend was crying in front of me. And I said, what's wrong? And she was my best friend and my mentor. And she said, Liz, I just can't stand to see him treating you like this anymore. I can't stand to see your pain. And when I saw the pain in her eyes, that she loved me so much more than I loved me, I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave for me. I didn't love me enough, but I loved her enough. So I left. So if you're not believing in yourself right now, or if you're not loving yourself right now, borrow someone else's belief in you.
I've been divorced twice, so never expected that in my life. Didn't want that for my children. Never would I wish that upon kids, to have a split home. Never did I think I would be that person.
People may see me, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, they maybe see me on QVC or different ads or television, and think, of course, this is where she is. It was always easy. Every single day is part of the journey.
Any hole that I put myself in, I always just took one step at a time. Just one step.
My sister is my best friend, and I'm just so grateful to have her in my life.
We pick each other back up. The other one falls down and I skin my knee. She's like, okay, let's brush that off. It's okay, you got this, we're each other's rock in a lot of ways. That's what community matters, whether it's your family community, your friend community, that's a big part of Radical.
For me, my dream come true will be to touch and inspire and uplift people to create a life they love. And it's possible. It's just one moment away.
Inner self meets outer beauty. To truly deliver that promise to people where we know that what we're going to do is going to make an impact in their lives.
Whatever it is you want, feel the fear, that's okay, but do it anyway, because your fear isn't real. It's just a fantasy of what could happen and how bad it could be. What about having a fantasy of how good it could be? I had no idea what was waiting for me. I had no idea what the unknown would look like. But step into that, because that is where your magic is. Let's get radical.